Your smart home is dangerous. 5 beginner tracks. Hello everyone. You are on the Digital Fresh channel. It was a Tuesday evening, just after dinner, when the air conditioning in Sarah's brand new smart home abruptly ceased its gentle hum, plunging the living room into an oppressive, muggy silence. And simultaneously, every single light in the house flickered violently before plunging the entire residence into absolute, suffocating darkness, leaving her heart pounding in her ears as she fumbled for her phone, only to discover that her meticulously crafted voice command routines had become completely unresponsive, transforming her dream of a seamless, futuristic sanctuary into a chilling, high-tech prison she could neither control nor escape. This is not a scene from a dystopian science fiction thriller. This is the stark, frustrating reality for a staggering 90% of enthusiastic newcomers who, brimming with optimism and armed with the latest gadgets, dive headfirst into the world of home automation, only to find themselves ensnared in a web of preventable errors that transform their cutting-edge technology into a source of relentless headaches, unexpected vulnerabilities, and a profound sense of buyer's remorse that can linger long after the novelty has worn off. Because the allure of a home that anticipates your needs, a home that can be controlled with a simple whisper or a tap on a screen, is undeniably powerful, promising unprecedented convenience, enhanced security, and a level of comfort that feels like magic. Yet beneath this shimmering promise lies a complex ecosystem of interconnected devices, protocols, and decisions where a single misstep during the initial setup phase can cascade into a symphony of failures, rendering the entire system not just useless but potentially dangerous. And in the following narrative, we will meticulously dissect the 5 most pervasive and critical mistakes that sabotage the smart home dreams of the vast majority of beginners, exploring not just what goes wrong, but precisely why it happens, how it manifests in your daily life, and most importantly, the clear, actionable strategies you can employ to navigate around these pitfalls and build a home that is not only intelligent, but also reliable, secure, and truly serves you as its master rather than the other way around. The very first and most devastating error, the one that lays the foundation for every subsequent disaster, is the catastrophic oversight of skipping the fundamental planning stage, an act of impulsive enthusiasm where individuals rush to purchase the shiniest new smart bulb or the most feature-laden security camera without ever pausing to consider the overarching architecture of their digital domicile, much like attempting to construct a skyscraper by randomly stacking bricks without a single blueprint or engineering calculation to guide the process. This lack of foresight inevitably leads to a fragmented and chaotic environment where devices from different manufacturers refuse to communicate, creating isolated islands of functionality that require a separate application for each light switch, each thermostat, and each door lock, transforming what should be a unified command center into a bewildering labyrinth of incompatible interfaces that drain the user's time and patience until the very idea of automation becomes a chore rather than a convenience. And to illustrate this, imagine purchasing a set of smart plugs from one brand, a lighting system from another, and a security suite from a third, only to discover that your desire to have the lights turn on automatically when the front door sensor detects your arrival is impossible, because the door sensor's ecosystem cannot speak the language of the lighting system, forcing you into a tedious manual routine that negates the entire purpose of having these devices in the first place. A scenario that could have been entirely avoided by dedicating a single afternoon to researching compatible platforms, sketching out a simple network diagram, and establishing a core set of rules for which protocols, such as Matter or Zigbee, would form the backbone of the entire operation, thereby ensuring a harmonious and integrated experience from the very first device installed. The third insidious error, lurking in the shadows of every unboxing, is the dangerous practice of ignoring or outright neglecting fundamental security hygiene, a catastrophic complacency where users fail to change the factory default username and password on their new smart devices, a practice that is astonishingly common, and leaves their entire digital ecosystem vulnerable to intrusion by anyone with a basic knowledge of the internet, as these default credentials are widely published and easily accessible to malicious actors scanning for unprotected entry points. And the consequences are far from theoretical, with documented cases of hackers gaining control of baby monitors to harass families, hijacking security cameras to spy on private moments, or even commandeering smart thermostats to cause physical damage by running heating systems unchecked, turning a tool for safety into a weapon of violation and destruction. And this vulnerability is compounded by the failure to enable two-factor authentication where available, and the chronic neglect of firmware updates, which are the digital equivalent of patching holes in the hull of a ship, leaving known security exploits wide open for exploitation, meaning that the very devices purchased to make a home safer are, due to simple human error, actively making it less secure. A sobering paradox that underscores the absolute necessity of treating every new gadget not as a finished product, but as a node in a network that demands proactive defense. The final and perhaps most psychologically damaging error is the profound disappointment that arises from a complete lack of patience and realistic expectation setting, where individuals expect their smart home to function with the flawless, intuitive brilliance of a science fiction movie from the very first day, failing to account for the inevitable learning curve, the occasional software glitch, the need for periodic recalibration, and the simple fact that technology, no matter how advanced, is created and maintained by humans and is therefore inherently prone to imperfection, leading many to abandon their systems entirely after the first frustrating encounter with a voice assistant misunderstanding a command, or a routine failing to trigger, writing off the entire endeavor as a failed experiment, rather than recognizing it as a complex project that, like cultivating a garden, requires consistent attention, pruning of faulty automations, and the nurturing of a stable environment to truly flourish and yield its promised bounty of convenience and comfort over the long term. So, in conclusion, the path to a successful and rewarding smart home is not paved with the most expensive gadgets or the sheer number of devices you can cram into your living space. It is forged through deliberate, thoughtful planning, a robust and well-considered network foundation, uncompromising attention to security, the disciplined application of automation only where it provides clear and stable value, and above all, a generous dose of patience and a willingness to learn from the inevitable stumbles along the way. Because the technology itself is a powerful tool, but its ultimate success or failure rests entirely in the hands of the person wielding it. And if this deep dive into the hidden pitfalls has sparked your curiosity and ignited a desire to master this fascinating domain, then do not stop here. Seek out the experts, experiment with small, manageable projects, and share your own triumphs and tribulations with the growing community of smart home enthusiasts. For the journey of transforming your house into a truly intelligent home is one of the most exciting and rewarding technological adventures available to us today. And your perfect future, one carefully considered decision at a time, is waiting just beyond the next successful automation. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell.